A very good afternoon to all of you friends. A very good afternoon to all of you. I hope and I believe that you guys are doing well and you have already started your preparation for CLAT 2025. Now, at this juncture, when we are planning to start our preparation for CLAT 2025, there are certain very important topics that a student who is preparing for that examination, because you do not have much time, you have around 11 months time if you consider we are in the mid of December. So let's consider around 11 and a half months that you have. Now in this 11 and a half months, there are certain very important topics that you need to understand well, and that is perhaps the reason why we are having this very important session today. Now in this session, I will talk to you about a very important topic of criminal law. What is this topic on criminal law? This topic is about motive and intention. Now let's first understand what is a crime. Now a crime is any kind of an offensive behavior against a human being, be it human being's property, his body, or his reputation. You can also have defamation, you can have murder, you can have theft. So if an act is done against a man's body, okay, you have offenses against body, you have offenses against property, you have offenses against the state, you have offenses against your reputation also. So by and large, what is a crime? Now, under this particular situation, the word crime has nowhere been defined, but there are certain essentials of a crime. There are certain essentials of a crime. Today, I am going to talk to you about this very important essential called mens rea. Now, as we all know, in a crime or a commission of a crime, there are two important elements. Number one is actus rea, and number two is mens rea. So, actus rea and mens rea constitute a crime. In this session, I shall be predominantly talking to you and discussing with you about mens rea. So guys, let's get started with mens rea. Before that, there is a very important legal maxim which says actus non fecit rem mens rea. Now what does this Latin maxim mean? This Latin maxim means that for a crime to take place, there are two important elements. That is mens rea and actus rea. So mens rea as well as actus rea are the two important ingredients of a crime or an offense of crime. So firstly, there is actus rea and mens rea. Now, what is actus rea? Actus rea is your physical element, okay, and mens rea is your mental element. Now, actus rea simply means your action. Your physical action is what we understand as actus rea. And what is mens rea? Mens rea is your mental ability, your mental element. Now, if I have to commit a particular crime, for example, let's say Mr. A wants to commit a theft. Now, he has to first think in his mind that he wishes to commit this offense called theft. Is that clear? So first and foremost, you must think. That means there is a mental element involved. Secondly, there is also a physical element involved. The act of physically stealing something. So there are two important ingredients for crime. So actus rea, which is the physical element, and mens rea, which is the mental element. These are the two important elements of crime, which we have seen from time immemorial for ages across the world. This particular elements are there in crimes across the world. Now, mens rea, as I said, is a mental element. It is the state of mind, the state of committing culpable offense. Now, you must have a mind. You must have a mind wherein you think that you will commit a particular crime or an offense. Is that clear? So mens rea is that particular state of mind. Now, as I was giving you that example of committing theft, so the first thing that should be there in a crime of theft is your mental element, your intention to commit theft. Your intention to commit theft. And then, of course, there is the actus rea, that is the physical element that is involved in a crime. Is that clear? Is that clear? So these are the two important elements of crime. Any questions you have, please feel free to ask me anytime. Okay. So a very warm welcome. Some of you are joining me late. Okay, no problem. You can watch this session from the very beginning also. No issues about that. Any questions that is there in your mind, you can ask me. Okay. Now let's move on and understand something more important about this concept of mens rea. Now, as I said in the beginning of this session, that mens rea is your mental component. Mens rea is your mental component of a crime. Now, it is a very important element because your guilty mind is what will be proved for you to be held guilty. So, the person has committed a crime. To hold him guilty, the court must come to a conclusion that he had a guilty mind. Without a guilty mind, there cannot be a guilty action. So without a guilty mind, let me give you another example. Let's take this example. Now suppose a farmer is cutting some trees. Farmer is cutting some trees with a hatchet. So you know what's a hatchet? No, or an axe. Very simple, an axe. So what is an axe constitute of? There is a wooden bark which is attached to that iron part, right? The axe part, the iron thing. So you have a wooden thing which is attached to the iron thing. Now while cutting the trees, suppose the iron part flicks out by mistake, and there was another farmer, and that iron part hits one of the farmer behind, and that man dies. Now the question is, in this situation, did the farmer who was cutting the tree with his axe, did he have the guilty mind of committing murder? Did he ever had thought that my iron part will leave the wooden part, it will flick over, there will be somebody else who is standing and cutting the crops, it will hit him and he will eventually die or succumb to the injuries? The answer is no. So in that example, we see that there is no mens rea. There is no mens rea. Well, take another example. Suppose Mr. A knows that Mr. B is inside a house and he deliberately put that house on fire. He knows very well that there is a human being inside the house. He wants to kill him. So what he does? He does not stab him. He does not. But what he does? is he just puts the house on fire. Did he have the guilty mind of committing a crime? Of course, yes. Can he tomorrow say, अरे मैं तो वो घर में आग जलाया, मैं कहां आपको मारा? Can that be a defense? The answer is no. So here we are talking about a state of mind that indicates the culpability of an offense. It is that blameworthy mental condition that we are talking about in an offense. Now, the existence of this mental element is very, very important for a person to prove whether he has committed a crime or has not committed a crime. So, mens rea is that very important ingredient which has to be proven in a court of law to hold a human being guilty of an offense or a crime. Now, unlike intention, motive is not one of the essence to hold whether a man is guilty or not guilty. I'll come to what is intention and what is motive. As I said, in these two examples, the first example I gave of that axe. Yes, do you remember? A farmer cutting his tree with his axe. Now, over there, was there any intention? Was there any intention in the mind of that farmer that, to kill the other farmer? The answer is simply a no. The second example that I gave you about a person putting someone else's house on fire, knowing very well that that human being is inside the house, that there was a guilty mind involved. There was a guilty mind involved. So here we are talking about the very important essence of what is mens rea. Any question? Any question? Any question that you have in your mind? You are most welcome to ask me any question, okay? Please let me know. Please let me know, guys. If you have any doubts, any question that is there in your mind, please don't feel, any question. Okay? Okay. So, let's move on. Now, let's understand what is motive. Motive, I just give you an example. I'll just give you this pretty example which I generally give to students. Motive is nothing but that thing which prompts a man to commit something. Now I'll give you an example. It's best way is to teach law is by citing example. Now suppose an old man, a 90-year-old man who is in coma for around 10 years. Now, with the invention of medicine, with the discovery of various types of medical treatment, the man is living. He's suffering from huge amount of pain. He's suffering from a lot of pain. Now, his son knows that his father is 96. Will die one day or the other. But the doctors also say that it is better for this old man to die because he is suffering from immense pain, immense misery. And nobody in his family wants that man to live because if he was living like normal people, it was absolutely fine. Now, he is suffering from an ailment which has no treatment. So here is a particular individual who is very old, 96 years of age, as I said, suffering from an incurable disease. And that person himself also wishes to die. His entire family wants him to be relieved of those pain and pleasure. The entire family, his well-wishers, wants him to die because they also can't see that old man suffering so much at the age of 96. So one day his son comes and he can't see his father going through all this pain. So what he does, he takes his licensed revolver out of his pocket, aims at his father, and with lot of tears in his eyes, he shoots the gun and his father dies. Very important. Now, my question over here is, what is the intention of the son? The intention of the son was great. Was a very wise decision. What was the decision? To relieve him from all pain. The son's motive was to relieve his father from all the pain and miseries of life. Is that clear? But what was his intention? His intention was to kill him. Now please understand this. His intention was to kill him. His intention was to kill him. Is that clear? Is that clear, all of you? His intention was to kill him, but his motive was very great. His motive was very great. His motive was to relieve his father from all earthly pain. So that is what we understand between motive and intention. Motive is something which prompts a man to form an intention, while intention is a state of mind consisting of desire that certain consequences shall follow from the party's physical act or illegal act. Its ulterior intention, the intention with which an intentional act is done, for more clearly, the intention with which an intentional consequences is brought to. Motive is not the deciding factor. A person might have a good motive, might have a bad motive. Motive does not play any role in deciding whether a person has committed a crime or not. Motive is not to be considered while deciding whether a person has committed a crime or not. It is the intention. The court is just going to ask, Mr. Son, did you bring your gun to your father? Yes. Were you carrying a gun? Yes. Did you take that gun out of your pocket? Did you aim at your father? Yes. Was the gun loaded? Yes. Did you shoot your father? Yes. So you had the intention to kill him. You might have the motive. You might have the motive to relieve your father from all earthly pain. But that does not absolve an individual insofar as his intention is concerned. So motive by itself cannot give rise to inference of guilt. There cannot be. You cannot decide whether a person has committed a crime or has not committed a crime based on his motive. It is the intention which decides whether a person is guilty or not. Failure to prove motive is irrelevant in a case where the guilt of the accused is otherwise proved. Is that clear to all of you guys? Is that clear? Okay. So guys, if you are liking this session, do press the like button and do share this session with your friends, guys. Okay. Do share this session with your friends. This session is for those who are not only preparing for CLAT, but also preparing for AILET, Maharashtra CET, CUET and others. Okay. Okay. Fantastic. Let's move ahead. So we understood what is motive. Now before I explain to you what is intention, BYJU'S Exam Prep brings to you If CLAT with BYJU'S Exam Prep. Unlock your 3-day free trial access to all our courses. Go to the description box below. You will find a link over there. Click on the link and you can unlock your 3-day free trial access to all our courses. Moving on. So what exactly is intention then? Example. Let's take this example. A sets fire to a house knowing that B is in the house with the purpose of killing him. So A intends to kill him. Is that clear? So intention to do an act, setting a house on fire for a particular consequence. Am I aware that, okay, was Mr. A aware of the fact that Mr. B was inside the house? Yes, Mr. A was aware of the fact that Mr. B was inside the house. And that was perhaps the reason why Mr. A set the house on fire with the intention, with the purpose to kill Mr. B. So A, in a way, wanted to kill B, and that's the reason he sets the house on fire, knowing fully well that Mr. B was inside the house. So a person who has the intention to do a particular act and has necessary knowledge about it. Necessary knowledge would mean I am aware of the fact that if the house is on fire, the person who is inside the house will die. He intends to cause death. That man, intends to cause death of the other person by setting the house on fire. That is what is intention. Now, where A intends to cause death by hitting a person on his vital parts of the body, like head, with an axe, he will be attributed with the knowledge of the consequence of his act, which is attributable to every person of sound mind. Now, I, as a normal, prudent man, know that if I stab a man with a knife inside his stomach, he is going to die. मैं कल ये नहीं बोल सकता अरे मैं तो मजाक कर रहा था आपके साथ, ये नहीं कह सकता. मैं कल ये नहीं बोल सकता अरे मैं तो आपका घर जलाया था, आपको तो मारा नहीं था. These cannot be attributed because you as a normal, prudent individual, you should know the consequence of your action. You should know the consequence of your action. It cannot be tomorrow argued in a court that no, I had no understanding that if I set the house on fire, the man inside will come out like, like Spider-Man. No, you cannot say that. Or he's a Batman. No. So you have to understand. So a person who is in a position to understand the consequence of his action, will be, in a way, in the eyes of law, will be considered that he had the intention of doing the act. Now, intention is very, very important. Intention is very, very relevant insofar as determining whether a person is guilty or not guilty. The law is not concerned about motive, as I said. The law is not concerned about motive, but it is concerned about intention. Is that clear? So you have to understand. You have to understand one thing, that intention is the only thing that determines criminal liability. Motive is not. Yes, Harry. Yeah, we are providing you a very premium thing. In our YouTube platform, we provide a lot of free things so that as a student, you get to have the best advantage insofar as while you are competing these entrance examination is concerned. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Let's come to the conclusion. Motive is said to mean the reason behind your action. So motive is what? The reason behind your action. But intention is the consequence of your action. Your desire that certain consequence will follow from the act. You stab someone. You stab someone to kill him. It is the consequence. Your action, motive is the reason why you want to stab him. Might be bad, good, bad, ugly. Motive can be good, bad, ugly. I have given you an example where the motive was absolutely great to relieve an old man out of pain or suffering. You kill him. The motive was great, was righteous, but the intention was to kill that man. Now, one very important thing that I wish to tell you now that you have understood what is motive, what is intention. Now, intention is the word intention is mentioned in the IPC, but it's not defined anywhere. Now, that's very, very essential for you to understand. And that's why a lot of people have been confused. The intention क्या होता है? Motive क्या होता है? Now, it is by various judgments that the term intention has been defined by various high courts across the country, by the Honorable Supreme Court of India on an umpteen number of occasions. So, to tell you this very interesting fact that the Indian Penal Code does not define the term intention. Although mental element, that is intention and motive, are very, very important for a person to understand this law of crime. Now, mental element, as you know, is very, very important to be proved in a court to hold a man guilty, to hold a person guilty. Now, we do not have a proper concrete definition of intention. The term has been decided, as I said, by courts across India, but in a very subjective manner. Now, when judges are defining a particular word, the definition can change from a judge to another judge. Now, judges, after all, are human beings. They are, since they are human beings, they can also commit errors, they can commit mistakes. They are not free from biases and prejudices. And henceforth, it is important that intention be defined by the Parliament. There should be a law made by the Parliament which defines intention, because the definition of intention varies from man to man. We are following the Supreme Court judgments, fair thought. If it is there in the book itself, in the IPC itself, then it can be a game changer for generations to come. I hope you understood that. Yes, Ramesh. Sir, can one person be punished for guilty motive? No. A person cannot be punished for just motive. There has to be an intention as well as an action. Okay? Both your mental element as well as your physical element must be there in a crime. I want to commit theft. I have planned everything. I have prepared myself. Then I attempt to do it. Attempt is an action. And the consequence, yes. Is that clear, Ramesh? Is that clear, all of you? Any question? Any question that you have in your mind? If you have in your mind any question, and those of you who will be watching this session in the recorded version, I would request them, in case you guys have any question or any query, please do let me know. Please do let me know. Please do let me know. Okay? Please do let me know. Okay? Please do let me know. Okay. Fantastic. Fantastic. No, okay. So guys, BYJU'S Exam Prep brings to you CLAT 2025 Comprehensive Course. We bring to you this course wherein we shall be providing you with 380 hours of live classes, 300 plus recorded videos, 55 mock tests, 10,000 practice question and practice test, study material, doubt resolution, and the CLAT Ignite magazine. So we bring to you this very important CLAT 2025 comprehensive course, which will help you insofar as your preparation for CLAT 2025 is concerned. And those of you who are seriously preparing for CLAT 2025, get yourself enrolled because we have much more to offer in these courses. So guys, before I say tata goodbye, do subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on our Instagram, like our Facebook page, join our Telegram channel, and do not forget to download the BYJU'S Exam Prep app today. Because if you haven't, there are a lot of free material that is available to each and every one. You can only get access to it once you download our app. So guys, with this, we come to the end of this session. With this, we come to the end of this session. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you like this session, do press the like button. Thank you very much. God bless you. We will again come with important sessions in the upcoming days. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye. All the best.